Right, I'll stop. YouTube doesn't let me play the soundtrack because of the copyright police. But that's right, as I post this video, it is Champions League draw day. And a happy one to every single Newcastle fan. So many teams, so many away days, so many teams visiting St James's Park and trying their first Greggs. Who do I want? Who do you want? We're going to discuss it on this video. So do us a favour, Newcastle fans, make sure you stick around. Sorry, welcome back to Black and White Banter, Newcastle fans. Sorry, that tune is just revolving around my brain as I record this video for what is a monumentous moment in our recent history. If you're new around here, though, before we get into all that lovely stuff, do us a favour, Newcastle fans, whack the little likey loo. That goes a very long way. It takes you a second. Hit that subscribe if you like my opinion by the end of this video. And on the topic of Champions League, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to be going to every single European away game, but I'm also probably going to sit here and say I'm going to every single European away game. There are going to be some wild and crazy match vlogs coming in the next couple of months. So if you're curious about any of my stuff when I'm in and around the grounds, whack that subscribe button, or just, stick around and see whether you like my opinion first. So the moment is here. The moment is here, and it's quite fitting that this Champions League draw comes in a week that has been marred with unexpected, for me, negativity, over-the-top criticism, a new, unfounded impatience that has developed in our fan base. And here we are sitting, waiting for Newcastle United's name to be read out on a card with some of the biggest teams in world football. The whole world will watch Eddie Howe's Mags, well, I wish it said Eddie Howe's Mags on the paper, get drawn alongside Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona. It's the pinnacle. It's what we live for. And what I would say to every single Newcastle fan who's maybe looking at where we want to get to, and I think that's a new mentality in our supporter base, is enjoy moments like this. Speak to a Man City fan, and I've spoken to some recently. If you speak to a Man City fan, a lot of them will say the same thing. The journey is just as enjoyable as the final reward. It really is. Like Del Boy found out, anyone who feels an Horses fans watching, when he finally made the £1 million, he actually preferred the chase of getting the money rather than actually having it in his back pocket. And it's moments like this that are an unexpected step on that journey. Forget about the matches for a second. Forget about wishing the time away so that Borussia Dortmund might come to St James's Park. Let's enjoy the draw. Let's enjoy the excitement. Let's enjoy being part of the conversation again. It's amazing. I'm beaming ear to ear. My mouth's almost hurting just thinking about it. I can't concentrate on anything else. Who will we get? The luxury of ties. Will we be going there? Will we be going there? Who can we beat? Oh, it's exciting. But I tell you what, on the topic of that, what's more exciting for me as a Newcastle fan is I think this team can actually compete. And some might call me deluded for that. We aren't like, no disrespect to them, but I look at the other teams in our pot. We aren't like the Red Star Belgrades. Sorry, they're not in our pot, but one of the lower teams, no disrespect. The Celtics, teams like that chances are, if history proves anything, are just going to turn up, probably get beat most matches and hopefully try and slip into that Europa League. Whilst I would still be over the moon with slipping into the Europa League at the end of this group stage, I do think if you look at our team, Isak, one of the best young strikers in European football in my opinion. Tonali, just come from Champions League semi-finalist AC Milan. Sven Botman, one of the best European young centre-backs in the world right now. We've got a team, but we also have an identity at St James's Park in particular where we can really spring a surprise on any team who writes us off as the fourth seed. Easy card for them. The bigger sides that might just look at Newcastle as the whipping boys in the group, we can spring a couple of surprises. St James's Park will be rocking. Our boys will be up for it. I've got no doubts about it. Yes, we've got a Champions League and experience in our squad. You're relying on Trippier, Bruno. There's not many players after that in our squad, just literally off the top of my head there, as I'm thinking about our team. Tonali, as I've just mentioned, who can really talk to the players and guide them through these run of matches in any way possible. But that inexperience, in my opinion, might show in away games. We are going to be going to hostile atmospheres. Isn't that an exciting thought? And I'm not so sure, depending on how the draw goes, how we'll do away from home. But St James's Park, we can beat anyone. I'll say that to anyone. I'll shout it from the rooftops, because that's what Eddie Howe, who some Newcastle fans have been ridiculously critical of this week, has created. He's created an identity and a style of play and a press, an attack, a front foot that means that we will fear no one. I'd like to hope we won't, unless the mentality changes in the fear of this huge competition. I would like to hope not. So I'm certainly of the mindset, leading me to my next point, of a mixed group. Some Newcastle fans want the group of death, which in my opinion, looking at the pots, would be Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and AC Milan. Amazing ties, but that reduces the chances of us getting anywhere. That increases the chances of us maybe finishing fourth in that group. You're hoping we can maybe do something against AC Milan, which I'm sure we could. I don't want that. I want a mix. I really do. I don't want an easy card. Easy, in inverted commas, because there's no easy matches in Champions League football. Of course, there isn't. And again, going back to our lack of experience in these competitions. But, you know, you look at what that could be. That could be Feyenoord. That could be Braga, that could be Red Star Belgrade. There's lots of teams you can rhyme off there that would still give us good away days, but there's no big name in there. And some Newcastle fans want that, and I understand, because that's going to give us the best chance of going through to knockout stages. I want a mix. And my opinions, as I'm going to rhyme off who my best group would be, are biased, because I'm planning on going to some of the European away days. And I love the thought. America was amazing. Benfica in the friendly game a season gone last in the UCBO Cup was amazing. Going over to Portugal for a couple of days, that was just a friendly match. I am frothing at the mouth. I've got wet shorts at the thought of European away days. So that's where my brain goes. But I also try and think about who I think we could beat and what would be good at St James's Park. So these are mine. And it's changed all the time. Like every hour, my brain looks at another team and goes, ooh, that would be quite a good tie. So I'm just going to run with what I've got in my head right now. Pot number one, and this one might be a controversial one, because there's glamorous teams in there, there's so many, but I'll explain why with everyone, is Barcelona. Now, a lot of people might say, well, they're playing in a temporary stadium. I think it's Espanyol's old one. There's no new camp trip. No. Well, for me, it's just the glamour of the tie. There's history behind Tino Aspria's beautiful hat-trick back in 98. Them coming to St James's Park would be amazing. Imagine that in match day number one, Newcastle versus Barcelona at St James's Park. There's just something about the name of that tie. I think it's because of that historic trip down memory lane from the last time we played them, when we beat them. But also, as a city, I've never been to Barcelona. Regardless of whether the new camp is not a factor, it would be a great away day. It would be a more relaxed away day. I don't think it would be too hostile in Barcelona. Lovely, lovely beer. Lovely weather, I would like to hope. And Spain was always a country I wanted to go to. And I'm going to explain why Real Madrid isn't that Spanish option on pot number two. So pot number two is the reason why I've ruled out other teams in the other group. So the reason I didn't go with Bayern Munich, who you would probably argue was the best team in pot one, is because I wanted a German team in Borussia Dortmund. That's my number two. And Borussia Dortmund, I'll be totally honest with you, is more with the away day in mind. I would love to go and see my team play against that yellow wall. The atmosphere looks incredible. I love German beer. I've visited the country quite a few times. I love German sausage. I would love it. I would absolutely love us to experience that atmosphere. That yellow, all the colours, the flags, the streamers that you get at Dortmund would be just incredible. It's built its own reputation in terms of an away day. And that's why I didn't go with Bayern Munich. And obviously Barcelona are in this, Real Madrid are in this group. I went with Barcelona. Because I would prefer Dortmund over Real Madrid. Real Madrid, yes, I totally understand. That's the standout tie. They've won the Champions League more than anyone. But Dortmund wins for me. As an away day, I think Real Madrid would be bland. I think it really would. You're not allowed to drink inside the stadiums in Spain. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me as much as some others, and I know, again, that might be controversial. But flip side to that, Real Madrid coming to St James's Park, can you imagine? That's another ridiculous tie. Now, pot number three, which is the really tough one. This is that lesser team that I talked about. This is where my brain has changed loads. You've got hostile atmospheres in there. You've got a little bit more glamorous countries to visit in there. And my choice, again, probably controversially, someone is probably going to be fearing that I'll even come back to make YouTube videos alive in a couple of months, is Red Star Belgrade. The reason I've said Red Star Belgrade is because that is the type of hostile atmosphere and country that I've never visited that just ticks a lot of boxes for me. We can beat them at St James's Park, going into Serbia, getting police escorted into the ground. I've watched YouTube videos before I recorded this. Liverpool played them recently in the Europa League and it looked mental. It looked absolutely insane. Fire, just hostility in the stadium. But of course, as long as you keep your wits about you, you've just got to be smart with these kind of away trips. And what brings that is Serbia. Cheap pints, looks beautiful from my research. But it was a difficult one because Salzburg looks absolutely lovely in Austria, and I've never been to Austria, so that will be another European country to tick off. Lazio brings that hostility, but as far as I understand, I've been to Rome, so I've ticked that place off, and I feel like Lazio would be that next level of like not allowed to drink anywhere, escorted everywhere. I don't know. I think it's because I've been to Rome, and Rome, as beautiful as it is, just doesn't have those away day Geordies taking over vibes. And Sporting Braga was a close one for me as well, because Portugal is lovely, absolutely lovely. And the weather would probably be quite solid in Portugal as well. So that's what I'm going to stick with. Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund and Red Star Belgrade. That gives us a lovely opportunity to at least finish third in the group, because I would like to hope we could turn over Red Star, at least at home. We can give Barcelona and Dortmund a cracking game at St James's Park, experience the yellow wall, experience the hopefully the nicer weather and the more glamorous side of an away day in Barcelona. It just ticks a lot of boxes for me. But I just want to clarify, anybody we get, and it won't be them three teams, of course it won't. I'm excited as hell. Let's soak it all up. Let's go on the away trips. Let's get in St James's Park. Oh, God. Pinch me. I'm dreaming. Pinch me. I'm dreaming. Thank you so much to this ownership and this management to get us here as quickly as what we have. I cannot wait. Eddie Howe's Champions League mags are mixing it with the elite. Newcastle fans, let me know who your dream ties are. I know I'm posting this video a little bit late, but I couldn't not come on and give a pre-build-up to the draw itself. Get the family round, get the popcorn in, get the beers in, take the day off work, pull a sickie. You do not want to miss us being pulled out of that draw live, because these are the moments as Newcastle fans we live for and we dream about. Let us know who you want in the comments. Let us know what you think about my opinions, and I'll see you for a draw reaction video, which I'm going to just tell you now is going to be happy as Larry, because I could not give two shits who we get, if I'm being totally honest. Away, Eddie Howe's Champions League mags.